Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I just wanted to do a quick kind of review or discussion. I haven't got to really test this light out, but I have compared it as far as the light output to some of my other lights like the TLR1 HL, which is one of the most popular weapon lights in self-defense for a decent price. Of course the X300 is going to be, extremely popular as well, but it's quite a bit more expensive. But I found a deal on Amazon, $23 for the Darkfang DK9065D. And if you look up Darkfang on Amazon, it'll be one of the first things that pops up. And I thought, I'm going to try this out. It's 1500 lumen, $23. Yeah, you can't beat it for the price. Now, is this a light that you're going to want to conceal carry on a daily basis? I don't think so, but for $23, that's not why you're going to be buying this. This is going to be more for fun, for training, practicing, maybe taking it to a day-night competition. That's kind of what I bought it for. This sets on, right now it sets on a 1522. Now I do have a side rail I can mount with these M-LOK or these rails. I can mount another Picatinny rail on this and put this on the side. As it sits right now, it obscures the bottom part of my visual through the optic, but not a lot. I can still see a lot of my field of view through the optic, but right now where it sits. But it does sit in a good place to actually have your hand and activate the light. And so it's actually a pretty good spot as far as not having to move your hand to hit the light. But this is $23, 1500 lumen. It's supposed to last around an hour, and for that price you can hardly beat it. I mean, one reason why I got this, I wanted to try it in the omnivore holster for the TLR1, but the specs they give you on the website is a little bit off, and this is a little bit wider and longer, I think, than the TLR1, which it showed to be about the same size, but it is. The specs are just different on it. It's not going to fit in an omnivore holster, which I really wanted it to do. But I kind of thought about it for $23. Something like this, or mount it on the side here, would be great for a day-night match with something like this 1522 long rifle AR. So it's just a cool thing, and if my buddies are always asking for lights and stuff to borrow and something like this, you're not going to worry about it if something happens to it. I mean, I trust those guys, but at the same time, you don't want to just loan out your, high dollar lights all the time. It's just nice to have something you don't have to worry about as much. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, and also I don't want to use my high dollar lights, and this is rechargeable, USB-C, by the way. It's right there on the bottom, if you can see that. It's rechargeable. You don't have to worry about replacing batteries. So just the overall efficiency of running this light would be really, really good. Like I said, let me see if I can kind of give you, I'm not going to take it outside or anything, but I want to kind of give you kind of an overall look at how, actually looking at it, yeah, I would say based off looking at the wall, and I've tried this in a dark room as well, and I don't think it really matters because we're comparing $23 with $150 light. So as far as that goes, is getting really detailed. I don't think I have to do in this video because we're comparing a $150 light to a $23 light that's on sale right now. I will leave a link in the description, but just looking at it, when I've played with it a little bit, it does look to have a little bit brighter hot spot and a little bit more spread than the TLR1 HL. Now the TLR1 HLX is out now. Would probably be very similar to this light in output, but this light right now, the way it sets, feels like it's a little bit stronger than TLR1 HL, and we know it's quite a bit stronger than the regular TLR1 as well. So for up to 50 yard weapon mounted light, you could shoot some night shoots with in a 22 competition, or even a PCC competition. I think this would be great. You could even run it on a pistol if you had a holster made. Unfortunately, there's no mainstream holsters probably that you'd have to have one custom made for something like this if you wanted one just for fun. But I'm going to show you what it looks like on a, I'm going to take it and put it on a $3,000 gun and make the internet very angry. because that's what, let's see if I can do this. Make sure it's, okay, there it is. All right, hold on. So I'm putting a $23 light on a $3,000 gun, and I think it's hilarious, and I kind of have fun with this more than anybody, I think, is making the internet mad because they get mad about Olight. Well, now, can you imagine $23 light? That's about a third the price of Olights on a $3,000 gun. Can you imagine what the internet thinks of that? See, that looks pretty good. I mean, it fits pretty flush to the trigger guard. Maybe sticks down just a little bit, almost flush with the end of the barrel. You could have a custom holster made just for playing, training. I'm not saying for concealed carry for this gun. I wouldn't conceal carry this gun anyway, 99% of the time. I mean, not that it wouldn't work, but yeah, looks pretty good. $23. I recently purchased an Olight, so I may sell this to a friend of mine. I'm trying to decide whether I just want to keep it for you know, a training slash, you know, borrow out this light if somebody wants to borrow one. But yeah, looks pretty good. Like I said, pretty efficient light, and worked great. I mean, buttons are pretty easy to actuate. You know, it's not too far off your hand to flip the button. I think it's a pretty nice gun. I mean, a pretty nice light, I should say, for $23. Let's take this off, and I want to just show you quickly the build quality. Is it a TLR1 or X300? Absolutely not. Is it supposed to be? No, it's not supposed to be. People expect a little too much. And I think it's funny. I was thinking about this before I made the video. I thought I would share with you guys. I think it's funny when people say, oh, that's an airsoft light. You know, that's a light for airsoft, or that's a tool for airsoft. And guys, I mean, I've watched several airsoft videos, and those guys train and they do things 5 times as hard and as rough as we ever do in our training. And to me, it would be a compliment to say that's an airsoft light, because to be honest, if it works in airsoft, it's going to work in everyday use, everyday carry, the little tiny training, because we're so careful, right, about, you know, how we run our real guns and how we train with our real guns, and we've got a lot of money wrapped up in them, so we are very careful with how we set up. Even in the competition world, they're careful about safety, about not being too hard on the guys that are competing. But these airsoft guys, man, they run their weapons, their equipment hard, buddy. And you say it's good enough for airsoft, it's kind of laughable to me, because it's like, man, if it's good enough for airsoft, it's about good enough for anything, because airsoft is the roughest running gun. And yeah, I mean, I get it that, you know, if it goes bad on airsoft, there's no life or death situation. I understand that part, and I'm not arguing that part. But I'm just saying, if the equipment will run in an airsoft match, and it does pretty well in an airsoft match, it should do pretty well anywhere in any other situation, you know, for that matter. You can see it's got a nice LED, and it's extremely bright. This is more like a hard polymer, a very hard polymer. It seems like it has a really thick polymer shell, and, you know, same thing your gun frames are made out of on striker fired guns. I mean, it's no different there as far as that goes. So I don't see an issue with that personally. It's also about 50% lighter, even though it's slightly larger than the TLR1 HL, because it probably has a little bit less aluminum. This rail is made out of aluminum, but most of it is hard polymer. But because it doesn't use as much aluminum as the TLR1, it is about 50% lighter. So that's what I was saying. It makes such a great competition light for day and night matches with a PCC, because it's going to be far lighter and not add a bunch of weight to the end of your gun, which you don't want to do in competition when you're running a gun. And so this light would be perfect for that kind of thing, and for training, because you don't want to have to haul around a light for 3 or 4 hours while you're training. That's heavy. And this one, I mean, it's very, very light. We can go ahead and see how much it weighs. I'm going to hurry up and end this video. But some of you guys like these budget videos, so, and I didn't see any videos on this Darkfang. I will leave a link below in the description, like I've done said. It is 3.2 ounces, so 3 ounces. TLR1 is somewhere around 5 ounces. I don't have it off the gun to weigh, but yeah, that's quite a bit lighter than the TLR1. But guys, have any questions or comments? Like I said, I haven't had time to really try this thing out, but it works every time I turn it on. The light seems brighter than the TLR1 HL, and has a brighter hotspot and a slightly more spread, it looks like. I would have to take it outside to really see, but that's what it looks like when I'm shooting it indoors. So $23. If you're interested in something just to play with or train with, please don't put it on your concealed carry weapon. I don't think it would be a bad idea. I think it would be perfectly fine for a home defense gun that's not being carried every day, that you just want to draw and search your house with. I think that this is strong enough for that. I don't think it's strong enough to be carrying every day, where you can, get into a gunfight outside and drop it on a rock or whatever, But just for a nightstand gun, I don't really think it's such a bad idea. Probably wouldn't use it, but I think it's good enough for that, in my opinion. Would have to try it for quite a while to give you that 100% go ahead and use it for something like that. But yeah, for training and competition, $23. I think it's a great light. God bless. Have a great day.